Yeah, don't it sound so epic? Horns are screaming, I ain't the one you wanna mess with. Use a joke, I ain't the one you wanna jest with. The cavalry bout to lock and load the weapons. Riot, riot, we came to riot. Revolution is coming, this the hour. Riot, riot, we came to riot. You hear the crowd, we coming for what's ours. Riot, riot, we came to riot.
You are done with work productivity for this Friday afternoon. You're locked in for 2 hours of college basketball here on the ISC Sports Network. The rare Friday matinee, and a game that has a lot of importance in terms of the NAIA National Tournament. 16-7 Huntington, 17-6 Marian. That's 3 and 5 respectively as you read it left to right in terms of the Crossroad League standings. Some years this has been a 5-bid league. Some years it's been 4. Both these teams want to be on the right side of that argument. These two in Bethel likely going to take up the last couple of spots in terms of the NAIA National Tournament. Bob Lovell, Greg Rakestraw with you. Bob, we're not trying to overhype this one. This one has a lot of ramifications as to what happens here at the PE Center this afternoon.
I don't think it's overhyping at all, Greg. It really is at a situation where you got to win games to get in. And you have virtually no margin for error if you're Marian or if you're Huntington. You've got to, as we mentioned before, you have to approach this in tournament mode, single elimination mode. And that's not overhyping, that's reality, because you don't know if it's going to be 4 or 5. It may only be 3. You just do not know. So it's that classic control the controllables and take care of business and win a basketball game.
Well, one thing that unfortunately Marian can't control is health of a couple of key players. They were shorthanded and played exceedingly well, but lost at Huntington back in early January. Except for a couple of players this time that are out. Gavin Foe, their starting 4. Nolan Foster, their backup 5.
Right.
And he and Jackson Ames really kind of, as we say, job share the center position. They are both out with injuries suffered in a victory at Goshen on Wednesday night. So what is normally a short rotation for Scott Eddy has gotten even shorter today.
Well, you can manage it. I think that's the one thing you look at on the positive side. Those guys are going to get a lot of minutes, and you have to be connected with the coach and connected with each other to know that when you're tired, you need to come out. And now Coach Eddy's I think one of the biggest challenges is managing timeouts, managing playing time and managing timeouts, and when to use and how often you use your timeouts. But you can't change what you do. You're a team that likes to get out in the open court. You're a team that likes to put pressure on the basketball. You're a team that likes to spread you out and shoot jump shots. And so that's what's gotten you here. You got to continue to be that way.
Did you say open court? Because that's how Huntington wants to play. They score over 91 points a game. Lane Sparks and Zach Goodline each average over 21 tonight.
Well, it should be a game. If you like up and down basketball, you're the right spot because both teams are up-tempo. Both teams open the court. Space and pace, if you will, a term that people like to use nowadays, and they both shoot the ball awfully, awfully well.
Let's get to Mark Cardosi, the public address voice of Marian basketball, for the introduction of today's starting lineups.
Let's meet the starting lineups for this afternoon's contest, presented by Tom O'Brien Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram. First, for the Foresters of Huntington University. At guard, number 5, Drew Goodline. At guard, number 20, Lane Sparks. At forward, number 23, Landon Jordan. At guard, number 24, Jackson Paul. And at guard, number 55, Zach Goodline. The Foresters head coach in his 4th year, Corey Alford. Ladies and gentlemen, starting lineups for the Huntington University Foresters.
How good has the offense been for Huntington since Corey Alford took over? One of their key scorers last year in Ben Humrickhouse transferred to the University of Evansville, and he has been a key part of their resurgence in the Missouri Valley Conference. It's a group that's a bit noticeably shorter this season for Huntington, but again, pace and space, they're going to put up points regardless of whom they play. Can the Knights keep up offensively? We'll have that answer about 90 or so minutes from now. Again, momentarily, we'll turn it back over to Mark Cardosi with the Marian starting 5.
On your feet and put your hands together as we meet your Marian University Knights. At forward, a 6'4" freshman from Lafayette, Indiana, number 30, Ben Henderson. At center, a 6'11" redshirt junior from Batavia, Ohio, number 14, Jackson Ames. At guard, a 5'11 junior from Cicero, Indiana, number 0, Gus Etchison. At guard, a 6'3 junior from Greencastle, Indiana, number 12, Brody Whitaker. Rounding out your night starting lineup is a 6'1 senior guard out of New Palestine, Indiana, wearing number 11, Maximus Gizzi. Your Knights head coach in his 7th season, Scott Henning. Ladies and gentlemen, starting lineup for your Marian University Knights.
Bob, as I check the tunnel to form as players were being recognized for the starting lineups, 9 in uniform today for Marian, and frankly, about 7 is what they're going to want to play today.
And see what happens.
Let's reference our 3-man officiating crew for today's contest. We have a good one put together. Corey Furman, Bernard Weatherly, and Chuck Evans is our lead official. He'll be tossing this one up in a matter of moments. Ames will jump at center for Marian. Landon Jordan has the honors for Huntington. Ben Henderson gets the start today with the absence of Gavin Foe. He would have played significant minutes regardless. Etchison, not surprising. 10 seconds into the game. Welcome to this contest.
Well, there's no need to get into your continuity offense. You're not looking at ball reversal here. You're looking at quick offense, and Gus Etchison can provide that.
You reference 2 20-point per game scores for Huntington. Same for Marian. Etchison just shy of 23. Whitaker at 20 on the nose. Here is Sparks, the former Greensburg Pirate, who drives on Henderson. Played for our good buddy Stacy Meyer at Greensburg, and Lane has been racking up the points ever since he got to campus. Etchison with the acrobatic scoop and score.
Yeah, go for 3 and then take it all the way. A little reverse layup on the window for an easy 2, so to speak.
There could be, Billy Tubbs loved to say the phrase, hang 100. There might be a couple of those in this game today. Ball touched last by Marian.
Well, both teams have great quickness at all 5 spots, okay? Both teams have guys who can shoot it. They will get out in transition, where I think both of them perform pretty well, perform at a high level.
Sparks off the curl, and he's got 2 buckets at the rim to start the game.
Talking about a kid who plays great without the ball in his hands. That's just great use of a screen.
Etchison step back, does not go. Ames will keep it alive. It'll be an undersized Marian group. Ames, the obvious exception to that, the former Miami of Ohio player. Whitaker creates some space and misses. Ames tips it twice to keep the possession alive.
Yeah, when you're in a situation like this, you go to Ames. As a coach, you go to Ames and say, I need you to get every rebound. I need you to do that.
No rebound necessary on that one.
You know, you challenge him and say, hey, if it comes off the rim, you got to get it.
Landon Jordan, the player that has him in the post. One of 2 former Churubusco stars on this Huntington starting 5. The other being Jackson Paul. It's really 2 4-guard offenses the way these 2 teams line up in this one. Sparks looking for his 3rd consecutive bucket, not that time, and Gizzi will track it down. The oldest of the 3 basketball playing Gizzi kids. Maximus at Marian, Isabella at St. Francis. Julius torching teams at New Pal this year, his junior season.
He literally is torching teams. I mean, that's a perfect description.
Shot clock at 10. Gizzi in the lane. High arcer, no. Ames again keeps it alive. And in the scramble for it, I think a foul is going to be called against Marian in the fracas. Henderson, the guilty party. So really for Marian, you're going to see Dylan Moles and Josh Bryan, and that's about it off the bench. Maybe it gets to Rowan Farrell.
Right.
But that's probably going to be the extent of it.
I just love how Chris Ames is responding to the challenge. He's battling on everything that comes off the rim.
Here's Goodline. He's been a key piece of this offense the last several years. It's 4 out, 1 in. Pretty easy to figure out. Paul looking to go to work. Good defense by Whitaker. And again, Ames is getting a finger on everything right now.
No, I mean, it's extraordinary, quite frankly.
Averages 6.5 points, 6 rebounds a game. Gizzy by his lonesome strips the three. Maximus, a 38% three-point shooter in limited tries, gives Marian a 6-point advantage.
You know, you penetrate and pitch, Greg. You get on the baseline, you sink the defense, you kick to the corner. That's a hard one to recover and get a hand up on.
Throw it up top for Jordan and Whitaker, yep.
Yeah.
And the big thing that Marian's going to have to worry about is foul trouble.
I think you're right.
This again, they're going to play 7 today. Here comes Brian in for Henderson.
Well, and Huntington's active without the ball, and they're also the same, just like Marian. They want to get you going to the rim. They want to go off the bounce and make you have to defend that.
The thought of playing zone to Scott Heddy's kind of like a 4-year-old eating broccoli, as Goodline got it to go. There may have to be some zone by necessity. And again, Huntington's not a team you frankly want to zone either, but you may have to if you're Marian.
Well, I'd be surprised if they go ahead and do it. I mean, it would have to take some, extreme circumstances. I think the foul issue, obviously, but there are ways to stay in your man, stay within your principles, and still not put yourself in jeopardy, so to speak.
Huntington won the first meeting on January the 6th by a score of 94-89. Whitaker. Ball was deflected. He can go to the backcourt to get it. Shot clock at 8. Etchison over Goodline. No. And the younger of the Goodlines able to track that one down. That's Drew. Drew wears 5. Zach wears 55. Drew fires a baseline corner 3, no. And Ames, the rather uncontested rebound. Sparks had 29, Goodline had 27 last time these two teams got together. Etchison off the window, got it to go. He's got 7.
Gus just says, if you're not going to stop me and come out and pick me up, I'm going as far as I can go.
Etchison and Whitaker both missed the game at Huntington. So the fact that, frankly, as Goodline scores, the fact that Marian stayed within 5 in that game was really impressive. That night was dedicated to Max Gizzy and Josh Bryan, who had 26 and 25 respectively. Etchison, not that time. He thought he was fouled or potentially blocked, but didn't get the whistle. And that will lead us to the media timeout. Well, this game has kind of gone according to Hoyle so far. 12-8, Marian has the lead. Corey Alford's team trails it by 4 here on the ISC Sports Network.
At Indiana Members Credit Union, we're invested in more than just your finances. We're invested in your future, the future of your family, the well-being of the community you live in, and in those who dream big. Until those dreams become a reality, any bank can give you a loan or open an account. At IMCU, we care about more than just dollars and cents. We care about doing things that make sense. And investing in you makes good sense to us.
5 minutes in, Marian with a 4-point lead. Today's game brought to us by AAA Roofing. When it rains, it pours, so trust the pros at AAA Roofing. That's what we call. Special thanks to AAA Roofing for their support of Marian University Athletics. Greg Rakestraw, Bob Lovell with you. Thank you to Rob Lynch, Aaron Van Wolde. Thanks to Eric Cadet, Bailey Chamberlain, and Vince Morales, our crew here at the PE Center.
That sounds like the A-team.
It is.
The A-team.
Although the A-team van is actually at Lawrence North as we speak.
Still.
Getting ready for Ben Davis and Lawrence North this evening on ISC and MyNDTV. With coverage of that game beginning at 7:30.
Doing the triple header today, huh?
And doing it again tomorrow, too. Oh. And there's only one announcer I get to work with on both days, and that's you. I'm a lucky man.
I'm not sure I'd go that far. I'd reevaluate your concept of luck.
Gage McGuire in there, 6'7" grad student, transfer from Division II Emporia State in Kansas. Good line. And stepping out of bounds before he threw that off of Ames was the aforementioned McGuire.
Good line shot looked like, from our vantage point, looked like it was going. Just a few inches short.
Shot a 20-footer from 21. Moles will check in as Gizzy will take a seat. So the Hancock County natives replace each other. Moles, the freshman from Greenfield Central, part of their 21-win team last year.
He'll give them good minutes, Greg. He really will. pretty solid player, pretty smart player.
And you have pretty much seen the extent of the rotation for Marian today. Whitaker got fouled, and Whitaker. And this has become a common theme, and knowing Scott Heddy, it's not surprising. But the track that Whitaker is on at Marian is very similar to Christian Stewart, who was a key piece, and it kind of exploded as he got older.
Right.
Same thing for Whitaker. Key piece, and now has really blossomed in this his junior season.
Well, it's that whole repetition situation. You know, get out there, get your time, learn from the people around you, study the game, work in the weight room, practice as hard as you can. Good things will happen to you.
So Marian will try to buy time for Ames where they can, because there really is no other player above 6'4" other than Ames that will play today. So they'll pull him for now. And Henderson will play the de facto 5 at 6'3" and a freshman for Marian.
Yeah, but I think you can match up. I mean, neither team's that big, so I think that while I understand what you're saying, I think you can match up with people.
Goodline finds a seam and draws contact from Whitaker. And again, there's going to be some times today, if you're Marian, you just have to let some things go, because again, you cannot afford to get players in foul trouble.
Yeah, I mean, this is more importantly than any other game, maybe.
Because that's 2 on
That's
Whitaker
2 on
right
Whitaker.
there.
Is that your defensive principles, your technique have to be really, really solid on a day like today. You can't reach, you can't commit bad fouls, you can't do any of that because, as you pointed out, margin for errors very, very slight.
And again, Rowan Farrell will come in early here. It's good to see. Rowan was a really good high school player at McCutcheon High School. Played, in fact, with Robert Finnessy at McCutcheon. Injuries have really curtailed his ability to play lengthy minutes. He will give it a go, as many as he can today, as Marian now has put 8 of their players in uniform. They've only got 9. And again, Farrell's about the end of the bench that they will go to in today's game. Farrell just checked in. Why not? Let it fire. That does not go. Good hustle by Henderson, but couldn't hang on to it. And Scott, he looks around and says, hey, give it a possession next time.
You always tell kids,
Make
Greg,
sure it's not your first touch of the game.
That's what you tell kids. Look, first trip down, don't shoot the ball. Don't care if you're 100% open. First trip down, pass it. Take the shot on the second trip, but not on the first.
Frankly, it's that skill that is what got Rowan to this point. He's able to play off a guy like Finnessy and knock down 3-point shots. But again, injuries have been his bugaboo here. Sparks on the drive and got it to go.
My. Great defense, better offense.
As advertised, Sparks 6, Goodline 6. That's the Huntington 12. Etchison tried to do a little too much and turns it over. And Max Gizzy will come in now for Marian.
I said before the game, Coach Heddes and Coach Alford's big challenges in this game, managing timeouts, managing personnel. Both teams are not deep. And, you just have to pick and choose your spots. And with the 5 timeouts you have a lot of work. You can do a lot of different things with it.
You get those media timeouts every 4 minutes. Those help.
Well, that helps you immensely.
Sparks from 18, got it.
Tell you what, if you don't get a hand up, I mean, all 10 kids on the floor right now, if you don't get a hand on a jump shot, you're in trouble.
Sparks, part of that second generation of great Greensburg players, as Moles got the bucket to go. We'll finish that thought on Lane later. Dylan Moles, the freshman from Greenfield Central, and one opportunity.
Gets a chance now, gets some more minutes, some meaningful minutes, and see what he does. That left hand gets the foul, the hoop and the arm right here. Pretty impressive move.
So Dylan Moles to go to the free throw line. And Marian will back all their players off the line here. Dyer is in for Huntington. He is a senior from Australia. One of a couple of international players on this Huntington roster. The young man from Belgium. Get some time for them as well. Good line, push shot, no. Fight for the loose ball, Farrell saves it. Great scrap for it, and Gizzy somehow gets out of there with it.
Everybody's hustling. I mean, both teams on the floor. Great ball fake.
Gizzy, crafty.
Pretty impressive move. Good strength around the rim, Greg. Great to get it up on the glass.
What we said about the development of the game of Whitaker applies to Gizzy as well. By far, having his best season in a Marian uniform. Sparks thought it was blocked. Official says no.
Sparks is also asking for a little bit of a bump on the shot, too.
Good line will come in. Sparks will have a breather. And I mentioned about his Greensburg background, and there was the group that won back-to-back 3A championships. And then there was kind of the next group after them, and that's the group that Lane was a part of. He, Drew Comer, and Andrew Wellage, who now plays at Wright State. We saw him a couple of weeks ago. They were the three-headed monster for Coach Meyer for many years. Brian cannot get that one to go, but I think that's off the knee of a Huntington player. It is. It'll be Marian basketball.
Yeah, Brian's an important player for Marian, Greg, in this ballgame. He can give him quality minutes. He can play 2 or 3 different spots. He can defend people. We know he can shoot it.
And he tends to be a guy that gets points in bunches. We saw that last week against Taylor. It was a 20-point victory for the Knights. Once the first one went down, it was lights out for Josh Bryant. Shot clock at 7. Gizzy goes and scores it.
Somehow, some way, got it up on the glass. That's a big-time hoop right there.
Gizzy averages just under 10 points a game. He'll frankly have more today. 6-point Marian lead. They have scored the last 6 points. Good line. It's a good line. Good defense by Farrell. Great rebound by Brenner. And the bucket is there for McGuire. We haven't mentioned Brenner. Brenner played at Northwood, part of last year's 3A state championship team.
Yep.
His teammate Ian Rosh now plays at Grace College. Brenner was an Indiana All-Star. Or Rosh was, excuse me. Farrell, good turn. Rowan Farrell.
Got himself going on the dribble and able to decelerate, under control, and get the turnaround.
Farrell playing in his 7th game all season.
That's impressive.
Good line, the step back, no. And Moles the rebound. Brian in the corner, not that time. Well, he's missed his first 2. Marian has 3 players waiting to check in. Good line, lost it, recovers it. Henderson and McGuire collide. Brenner fires, that does not go.
Pace is slowing down just a little bit here, Greg. I think both teams are a little fatigued at this point. Need to get a breather if they can. You see the subs getting ready to come in.
There is a media timeout coming, next stoppage in play.
It comes at a great time for both teams.
Gizzy missed it, but draws contact, and Max Gizzy will shoot 2 when we come back from the aforementioned media timeout. This is one that Marian really needs to get, and so far, so good. They lead it by 6 as you're watching Crossroads League basketball on the ISC Sports Network.
Does your school offer high-quality education? Does it offer virtual or hybrid options? Marian University Preparatory School educates students in a safe, faith-based environment focused on college and career exploration. Here at Marian University Preparatory School, we empower parents and help students to master what they love and learn as they live. We are now enrolling students in grades 6 through 9 this fall. Full financial aid packages are still available. Act now to make MU Prep your school for 2022.
Still waiting? You could have been seen by an orthopedic specialist at Ortho Indy Urgent Care. Avoid the wait, cost, and drama of the ER. Ortho Indy Urgent Care. Orthopedic care without the drama. Find a location near you.
They just see different generations that are watching this game. The same can be said online to our audience. Bob, you want to say hello to Sam Alford? He is watching us in Florida as we speak.
Sam, I hope everything
Hello,
is
Coach.
well. Hello, Coach. Hope you're well. I know you're proud of what your son's doing, and you should be. These guys compete. They knew they would. And they can, like all Alfords, they can shoot the ball.
Of course, Steve's doing a heck of a job in Nevada these days.
Yeah.
Corey now in his 4th year as the head coach here at Huntington. And we mentioned several substitutions awaiting. Now you're seeing some starters back on the floor. Jackson Paul, Lane Sparks, Jordan back out there as well for the Foresters. For Marian Ames, and Ames plays about 21 minutes a game. He'll probably be asked to go at least 32, if not more, today. With no Nolan Foster, no Gavin Foe. Gizzy the line, and knocks that one down. Gizzy 81% for the season. Both the Marian men and women are each shooting 78% from the line on the year.
That's impressive, no question. No question at all. Gizzy's just a hard-nosed, mentally tough kid who can shoot the basketball awfully well.
It's like mom and dad were coaches or played Division I. All the siblings, you know, they could charge admission to the backyard games in the Gizzy household.
There's no question.
Here's Sparks. Turns and get that naturally to be a left-hander to kind of free up for that shot. Good look that would not go for Sparks.
Well, he was bodied up and really got some resistance when he got around the hoop, but still, it's a shot he can make. I mean, there's no question. I just like how both teams space you, make you have to play. Gizzy makes a great cut and a great pass.
Whitaker for three that did not go.
Stay.
Good look. Marian 2 of 8 from three-point range. That was Whitaker's first attempt. Paul gets down the lane and did not get it to go. Asked for contact. Vicious frankly let him play both directions, and honestly, that's the betterment of Marian. Even though Marian not as big and physical as they normally would be and have been in years gone by. Etchison. Whitaker from 22, no problem that time.
How about the ball movement, Greg? Really tremendous pass by all three players, basically. You know, never touch the floor, drive baseline, kick to the side, kick to the top. Big time play.
Knights at a 13-2 run. Sparks got that one. Sparks has 10.
He just keeps going at you. You know, court opens up. You got small guys. You don't have a post player there in the way. You've taken the weak side help away. Get to the rim.
There are certain kids when you hear they're going to go to a particular school, you're like, that's just a perfect fit. And that was the case when Sparks announced he was going from Greensburg to Huntington. Etchison tried to find Ames, and Ames didn't think that was in for him. Marian turnover, their second.
Gus just couldn't wrap it around to Ames like he needed to. An uncommon turnover. Both teams have taken care of the basketball pretty well right now, but you know, you're at a stretch, 7:50 left in the half. Fatigue starting to settle in a little bit on both sides.
30-second timeout taken by the Knights. We will keep it right here. This 30-second timeout presented by our friends at Pepsi. Grab a Pepsi and some friends and get in the game. Pepsi, proud partner of the Marian University Knights. This gives us a chance to walk you through the Crossroads League standings. Grace is 13-0. They remain undefeated, the only unbeaten team in all of college basketball. Indiana Wesleyan 11-2 and 20-3. Huntington is next at 9-4.
Right.
Bethel 8-5. Marian 7-6. And again, it's those 5 teams that we think could be NAI national tournament teams. The league's kind of bounced back and forth between 4 and 5 bids over the years. That's why there is such importance on this game for Marian to defend home court against a team like Huntington that you think is going to be a tournament team.
Yeah, and the problem is you never know because it's a decision of a committee. You don't know. And you can lobby all you want. You can call the committee members and plead your case and all that, but until the decision's made, you really don't know.
Good line off a series of screens. Sparks fouled on the floor by Brian. Wave off the shot. 4th foul against Marian.
Tough matchup. I mean, you ball reversal, get it to a wing, you get a matchup you like, you put it on the floor and try to go to the rim.
Shot clock at 15. No, it's 20. Starting 5 back on the floor for the Foresters. Good line over Etchison, no. And on the blockout drill, Whitaker able to track it down.
Great point.
Ball's supposed to hit the floor, right? It did.
That's what you teach. You teach it that way.
Moles back in there for Marian. Gizzy gets a breather, so does Henderson. Etchison finds Ames, and
great defense. Great recovery.
Ames couldn't hang on to it.
I mean, it's a tremendous pass by Etchison, and Ames just couldn't get there quickly enough.
Good line with space, and he's just kind of pulling a string in his shot a little bit today. His good line.
A little bit. You know, you finish high, which he's not doing. extend yourself, hold that position.
But frankly, he will shoot himself out of a slump at some
there's no
point. He's 0 for 4. They will keep being fired. Goodline, as in the younger Goodline, the read, and easiest bucket he'll have all night. Lays
Well,
it
he
up and in.
anticipated it well. From our vantage point, you're able to see it. That's a big steal. You just feel a little bit of momentum now on the side of the Foresters.
Drew's first bucket. Zach has made a couple, by the way. Whitaker turns and misses. And then they're going to get Ames battling on the low block for a foul. And again, he absolutely has to avoid foul trouble. That is his first.
Yeah, he really does for the obvious reasons. But, Huntington get a little bit of a spark. Come down, get back-to-back possessions.
Bowles will check back out. Gizzy checks in. Farrell will spell Whitaker for a minute or two. Huntington 9 of 23 so far from the floor. And 0 of 5 from three-point range. Again, that number won't last. Simply too talented offensively for that to be the case. Goodline on the attack. Sparks tracks it down, missed it. And Farrell saves it to Bryant.
Great jobs by Sparks to get to it. He just couldn't get through the traffic to get it on the rim.
Good hands by Goodline.
Tremendous hustle.
So Drew is a junior. Zach is a graduate student. Zach began his college days at Oakland University. He is the lone former Division I player on this Huntington squad. Marian's got a few. One of them with the ball in his hands right now. Etchison having played at Western Michigan. Gizzy lost the handle. I remember starting to rack up on the Knights. Good line, the step through Ames, the volleyball spike. But Sparks in rhythm, hits from 18.
This is a great looking stroke, Greg. I mean, it really is. Transition that Huntington was able to withstand. Big basket.
What was an 11-point lead is down to 5. And Etchison got stuck in a bad spot and throws it away. Sparks will pull for 3. No. Brian, good strong rebound, and he got fouled. Jordan the foul.
Sparks was feeling it all the way. Made the big hoop the last time down. Thought he had another one in him.
The light for Sparks and Goodline match the primary color of the Foresters. Let's put it that way.
I like it.
27-22, Knights lead. Media timeout. We're back after this on the ISC Sports Network.
Still waiting? You could have been seen by an orthopedic specialist at Ortho Indy Urgent Care. Avoid the wait, cost, and drama of the ER. Ortho Indy Urgent Care. Orthopedic care without the drama. Find a location near you.
At Indiana Members Credit Union, we're invested in more than just your finances. We're invested in your future, the future of your family, the well-being of the community you live in, and in those who dream big. Until those dreams become a reality, any bank can give you a loan or open an account. At IMCU, we care about more than just dollars and cents. We care about doing things that make sense. And investing in you makes good sense to us.
Today's game brought to us by Pepsi. Grab a Pepsi and some friends and get in the game. Pepsi, proud partner of the Marian University Knights. Greg Rakestraw, Bob Lovell with you. 27-22, Marian leading the Foresters. Again, if you're wondering, why are they playing on a Friday afternoon? Well, Marian sponsors wrestling. They are members of the Wolverine Hoosier Athletic Conference to be in that sport. And it is their turn to host the league wrestling tournament. So that will be done tomorrow. So again, the folks at Huntington were gracious enough to say, yep, we will play you a day early to make that happen. So hence the Friday afternoon, the popular term the kids are saying these days, standalone game. This is it. This is the equivalent of college basketball taking place across the country as we speak.
I know when you sent me the date, I thought you had made a mistake. But of course, we know you don't make them. So
you read that exactly as I scripted it for you.
Exactly.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
My agent appreciates that. Shot clock at 14.
Great defensive pressure right now by Huntington. The on-ball pressure is great. Great switch.
Whitaker off the bump.
That's well done. That's a great defensive possession.
Yep. And again, physicality's gone both directions. So
well, the officials have let it play. I think it's been consistent on both sides.
Yeah, good line playing to the tenor of how the game has been officiated with that little nudge on Whitaker that time. Same thing at the other end. Couldn't finish over it.
Yeah, there are nudges.
Yep.
All over the place.
And again, if you're going to play 8 guys, you want those nudges to be allowed to let go if you're Marian, as Bryant now 0 for 3 from three-point range.
Yeah, both teams have had good looks, just haven't managed to have them go. Great back cut, really.
Well done by Sparks. Tries to find an escape hatch. Ames all over the map.
All right, she had 5 guys on the floor,
Yep.
just so you know.
Etchison off the window.
Great finish. You think this game isn't important? Count the number of guys on the floor for a loose ball.
And we are stopping just to make sure, because as you referenced, half of the active roster was diving for that loose ball.
Everybody. You know, the only guys not on the floor were the coaches.
So given the effort, we said, you know what? Let's stop and make sure that we wipe
Everybody's
all of this up
You're right.
on what is a warm day outside and a warm day inside.
Yeah, you come back to one of the players come back to the bench and tell your teammates on the bench, why weren't you guys out on the floor?
So the lead back to 7 for the Knights. McGuire back in there now for Huntington. Runner will check in next stoppage in play for the Foresters. Good line. Got Farrell to bite on the jab step and missed it.
Just couldn't get the extension with his knees that he needed on that one, Greg.
Marian's done some good things defensively. They're also getting a bit of a break because Goodline's missing some good looks.
Yeah, that's
Gizzy
true.
draws contact and will shoot 2.
Both teams have had looks, have had good look. Both teams have been pressured, but they've also had good looks. And so what happens when you get that pressure over and over, Greg, it wears you down a little bit.
So Gizzy to the line where he is 2 of 2. Marian 4 of 5 from the stripe so far. And Maximus got it to go. Next Saturday be a great and easy day for the Gizzy family. And they're appreciative of this Friday game, so they can all go to Fort Wayne tomorrow. But St. Francis is here next Saturday.
Okay.
So they'll have one child playing for one team in the 1 o'clock game and another child playing for the other team in the 3 o'clock game.
That's good.
Gizzy hits them both.
Gizzies need to request that their schools, respective schools, work with them on scheduling.
I think they're used to having to split ground to cover over the years.
Help us out here.
Paul, the drive, no.
Hard to make, your momentum's taking you out of bounds and you can't get your shoulders squared.
Etchison defies the laws of gravity. Able to turn in midair and draw the foul, and Gus will shoot 2. So Etchison now in 9. He's got 2 assists as well in 14 minutes of play.
He's so quick off the dribble. He gets to the rim so quickly off the dribble and puts great pressure on you, Greg. He really does. And he's fearless. That's the other part of it. I mean, think about it.
But misses that one. Does the transfer from Western Michigan, a former Hamilton Heights Husky. Gus on the season, 77% from the free throw line. Etchison connects on that one. And Marian backing all their players off the line. In part just again to kind of conserve a little tread on the tires, but and they're also a 78% free throw shooting team. Law of averages say they're making the right play. Good line from 16, and the iron unkind, as Tim Brando would say.
Would not stay down.
Sometimes the rim plays phenomenal defense. And Farrell getting some extended minutes today. Tried 1-3 earlier, doesn't get that one to go. Moles will tap it up and away. Good hands by Etchison. Thought he played it off the leg of Paul, but
Gus knew it was off his foot, trying to sell the call. Great hands, just not able to get it.
Huntington averaging 91 points a game, sitting at 22. Sparks from the elbow. No. Great rebound by Farrell.
Great save by Farrell, too.
And
knowing he's going out of bounds to get it back in.
You saw the reaction of the bench. They all stood and applauded the effort for a young man that, again, usually gets more time in practice. I think that was off Etchison's hands. I think. Yep. Deflected off the Huntington player, then off the hands of Etchison. Right call by Bernard Weatherly. Out of bounds to Huntington.
Good call, Greg Rakestraw. Right on top of it.
Bernard is like us. He is, and Corey Furman's the same way, guys that are based here in the area that do high school basketball too. I think Bernard says he's heading to Decatur Central for a boys game tonight following this one.
It's Friday night. It's Indiana. Come on.
Our cameras are heading to Lawrence North High School. They and Ben Davis play for likely the MIC championship this evening. 7:30 is the covered start time on ISC and MyNDTV. Good line got bumped before the shot. So no free throws on the 6th Marian team foul.
Kind of got bailed out, a little bit out of control on the drive to the rim.
Fouls on Henderson, his second. So Henderson has 2 fouls. Brian will come in to replace him. As between he and Whitaker, I think they will try to maybe sideline those guys for the final 90 seconds. Again, just trying to manage fouls. You're going to play 8 in today's game. Sparks runner, no. Great job by Moles.
He's giving them quality minutes, Greg. We said that the first time he came in the first half. He would give them quality minutes, and he has.
Brian.
Just great hands. Get the deflection.
Eight Marian turnovers. Sparks a miss here. Huntington 10 of 34 from the floor and 0 of 7 from three-point range. Just to give you a frame of reference, 8 threes and 36% from 3 is the per game average for Huntington.
Right.
Etchison drives, block, but there's Ames. Missed the first one. Will he get a second one? Well, he didn't hit it, but he does draw the foul. And when Etchison beats 3 defenders, that opens things up.
It does.
For everybody else.
And Ames is, that's his game. He recognizes Gus going to the rim. Here's Ames coming in. Nobody gets a body on him, and he wishes he had that shot back.
So Ames to shoot 2. And Ames from Ohio began his collegiate days at Miami of Ohio. Connects on that one. Jackson on the season, a 77% free throw shooter. Farrell will check back in. Brian will check out. And Ames connects. 4-second difference, shot clock and game clock. And Huntington will take their use it or lose it first half 30-second timeout. Trailing by 12. This 30-second timeout presented by BSN Sports. BSN is the preferred provider of apparel for Marian Athletics. Thank you to our friends at BSN. Coming up at halftime, we'll have first half highlights. Thoughts on half 1, a preview of half number 2. Quick look at the Crossroads League standings. And we'll recap the women's game that Marian won yet again to get to 23-1 on the season. Marian women have won 21 consecutive games.
That's quite a feat.
Number 2 in the nation.
They deserve it. Yeah, absolutely.
After today, 4 games left in regular season play for each of these teams. In Huntington, number 3 seed currently, Marian the number 5, meaning they would be on the road for their conference opener at Bethel. And that's where Marian plays on Wednesday. Runner. Sparks. No. And again, that's been physical going both directions.
It has.
Etchison pulls from 22. And Marian will take a 15-point lead to halftime. The Knights are shorthanded, but not short on effort and heart in this one. They're holding a team that averages 91 a game to 22 at halftime. Marian 37, Huntington 22. Halftime show comes right next as you're watching Marian basketball on ISC.
Pepsi's always had great taste. Today, try great taste with zero sugar. This is the Pepsi with zero compromises. This is Pepsi Zero Sugar.
There's something that may surprise you about Marian University. It's not our Catholic faith or our Franciscan values. It's not our 5,000 students or our diversity. It's not Marian's championship athletics or our Indianapolis location. It's that Marian is home to Indiana's only college of osteopathic medicine. Marian, Indy's Catholic University.
At Indiana Members Credit Union, we're invested in more than just your finances. We're invested in your future, the future of your family, the well-being of the community you live in, and in those who dream big. Until those dreams become a reality, any bank can give you a loan or open an account. At IMCU, we care about more than just dollars and cents. We care about doing things that make sense. And investing in you makes good sense to us.
There's something that may surprise you about Marian University. It's not our Catholic faith or our Franciscan values. It's not our 5,000 students or our diversity. It's not Marian's championship athletics or our Indianapolis location. It's that Marian is home to Indiana's only college of osteopathic medicine. Marian, Indy's Catholic University.
This is the Pepsi for America's best barbecue. Worthy of 100-mile detours and 1,000 likes. Looks good. This is the Pepsi for mopping, dipping, and dousing. Whatever you're craving, this is the Pepsi for you. This is the Pepsi for serious fans and serious eats. This is the Pepsi for Sundays at the ballpark and days off at your favorite pizza joint. Right, Aaron?
Best slice in New York.
Whatever you're craving, this is the Pepsi for you.
You know, this has been a Marian team that has been much more of an up-and-down team this year and involved in some more shootouts. The first half has looked like what Scott Heddy's teams have looked like at Marian and Carmel for the last, say, 10 to 15 years. Again, Huntington comes in averaging 91 points a game. They have scored 22. And Marian, again, their top scorers are here, but they're missing their starting four. They're missing their backup five. 9 in uniform, and they are in control of this one, 37-22. Bob, well, how have they gotten it done defensively?
Well, defensively, you know, that's the hallmark of Scott Heddy basketball teams. They've defended the ball well. They've defended dribble penetration really well. They've contested shots. And I think offensively, you have Gus Etchison and others on the perimeter who can take it to the rim, make decisions. They can knock down perimeter shots. Ames is a big factor inside for a lot of reasons, but I think more than anything is Coach Heddy's guys have been locked in defensively. And to be honest, I mean, Huntington hasn't shot the ball particularly well in large part. They've had good-looking shots, but a lot have been under duress, so to speak. And so, you know, a combination of things right now.
A couple of runs for Marian of note. The game was tied at 14, and Marian went on a 13-2 run. Huntington got it back to a 5-point game. Marian scored the last 10 points of the final 3:46 of the half. Huntington has made just one of their last 13 field goals, and they have been on a 5-minute and 22-second scoring drought. Huntington has a team 10 of 36 from the floor, 0 of 8 from three-point range. Marian 12 of 27 and 4 of 12 from three-point range. We'll take this quick timeout. We'll come back with a look at first half highlights, thoughts for half number 2, a full scoring recap, and a recap of what happened earlier today, another Marian women's win. That all comes right next as you're watching Marian University basketball. Hello, Will. Hello, Mark, on the ISC Sports Network.
Marian University is like a home to me.
Campus is where I made friends that I know will last a lifetime.
Academics, sports, or arts, Marian's got something for you.
Plus, downtown Indy is just 10 minutes away from campus.
I'm a huge sports fan. Living in Indy, I've got the Knights, the Colts, and the Pacers.
Applying was so fast and easy.
I went to Marian for the education, but what I took away was the experience.
Marian University offers an exceptional education and an unforgettable experience. Apply today for full scholarship consideration at marian.edu.
Still waiting? You could have been seen by an orthopedic specialist at Ortho Indy Urgent Care. Avoid the wait, cost, and drama of the ER. Ortho Indy Urgent Care. Orthopedic care without the drama. Find a location near you. Still waiting? You could have been seen by an orthopedic specialist at Ortho Indy Urgent Care. Avoid the wait, cost, and drama of the ER. Ortho Indy Urgent Care. Orthopedic care without the drama. Find a location near you.
Pepsi's always had great taste. Today, try great taste with zero sugar. This is the Pepsi with zero compromises. This is Pepsi Zero Sugar.
This is the Pepsi for America's best barbecue. Worthy of 100-mile detours and 1,000 likes. Looks good. This is the Pepsi for mopping, dipping, and dousing. Whatever you're craving, this is the Pepsi for you. This is the Pepsi for serious fans and serious eats. This is the Pepsi for Sundays at the ballpark and days off at your favorite pizza joint. Right, Aaron?
Best slice in New York.
Whatever you're craving, this is the Pepsi for you.
Highlights about to fly by from half number one. Let's give you a scoring. First of all, for the Foresters, 18 of their 22 coming from their top two scorers, Sparks and Goodline. Sparks 12, Goodline 6. Sparks 6 of 16. Goodline 2 of 11 from the floor. Other buckets belong to Drew Goodline and to McGuire. That's it. Jordan, Paul, Brenner, Dyer both played but did not score. As the Marian highlights now fly by, again, two leading scorers today have been Etchison and Gizzy. It's been a quiet day so far for Whitaker. He's got just 5 points. Ames has 4 points, but 9 rebounds for Ames in the first half. Moles 2, Farrell 2. Henderson and Bryan both played, but did not score. Bob, your overall impressions as to what you've seen in these highlights that just rolled by?
It's quite a battle, quite frankly. Both teams are playing hard. I mean, tell you what, if you got the ball in your hands and you're going to try to go to the rim, you're going to get contact. You're going to get bumped. Both sides are doing it. It's hard. It's a physical ball game. Talk about teams not necessarily being that big. They're still playing physical basketball, and it's hard. It's hard to score against both of these teams, and so you can tell they recognize how important this game is and what's on the line, so to speak, for both of them. So expect the same thing here in the second half, without question.
Rebounds 27-15 in favor of Marian, and most of those been at the defensive end. Second chance points are even at 6 apiece. The negative stat that Coach Eddie can harp on for Marian is turnovers. They have 8, just 1 so far for Huntington. Points off turnovers 6-2 in favor of the Foresters. For Marian, 3 assists on 12 field goals. For Huntington, 2 assists on 10 field goals so far. Bob, let's recap the game from earlier. The Marian women dominant against Huntington. Marian has now won 21 straight this season, 21 in a row against Huntington. They are 14-0 in league play. They are number 2 in the country. Thoughts on another impressive Marian women's win?
Well, they hurt you in so many ways, Greg. I mean, defensively, they're really, really solid. It's hard to score against them for the obvious reasons. Secondly, offensively, they have so many weapons. I mean, they have plenty of weapons. They are literally an offensive machine. And I think, you just watch how they play. They share the ball. They play hard. They play under control. They're a fun basketball team to watch. And I'd watch Ella Collier play any day. I mean, it doesn't matter. She's just fun to watch. Again, lets the game come to her. But there's a reason why you've won 20 in a row, 21 in a row, and you rank number 2, because you have literally no weaknesses. It's a well put together roster. It's a tremendously talented group, and you're playing for a coach who's won multiple national championships.
Folks, there is a chance that both NAI basketball champions come from this conference this year.
Happened before.
You would say that most years, but
Yeah.
but Grace is number 1 on the men. They're unbeaten. Marian is number 2 in the women's, and they have 1 loss so far on the season. Quick check of the Crossroads League standings, and we're doing this off the top. I'll go the full route this time. Grace, again, aforementioned, number 1 in men's basketball, 13-0. Indiana Wesleyan 11-2. Huntington third at 9-4. Bethel 8-5 as the Foresters return to the floor. Marian fifth at 7-6. Then there's a 2-game gap. St. Francis in sole possession of 6th at 5-8. 3 teams tied for 7th. Mount Vernon, Nazarene, Spring Arbor, and Taylor. 2 of those teams will make the conference tournament. 1 will not. And Goshen has had a season of struggle. The Maple Leafs are 0-23 on the year, and they are 0-13 in Crossroads League play. Again, these 2 get to watch everybody else in the league tomorrow. The other 4 games will take place at the usually scheduled time tomorrow afternoon at 3 o'clock. We'll take this quick timeout. Second half action comes your way next. Knights will have the basketball. They'll also have a 15-point lead when we come back to the PE Center as you're watching Marian Men's Hoops on the ISC Sports Network.
At Indiana Members Credit Union, we're invested in more than just your finances. We're invested in your future, the future of your family, the well-being of the community you live in, and in those who dream big. Until those dreams become a reality, any bank can give you a loan or open an account. At IMCU, we care about more than just dollars and cents. We care about doing things that make sense. And investing in you makes good sense to us.
Does your school offer high-quality education? Does it offer virtual or hybrid options? Marian University Preparatory School educates students in a safe, faith-based environment focused on college and career exploration. Here at Marian University Preparatory School, we empower parents and help students to master what they love and learn as they live. We are now enrolling students in grades 6 through 9 this fall. Full financial aid packages are still available. Act now to make MU Prep your school for 2022.
Still waiting? You could have been seen by an orthopedic specialist at Ortho Indy Urgent Care. Avoid the wait, cost, and drama of the ER. Ortho Indy Urgent Care. Orthopedic care without the drama. Find a location near you. Still waiting? You could have been seen by an orthopedic specialist at Ortho Indy Urgent Care. Avoid the wait, cost, and drama of the ER. Ortho Indy Urgent Care. Orthopedic care without the drama. Find a location near you.
At Indiana Members Credit Union, we're invested in more than just your finances. We're invested in your future, the future of your family, the well-being of the community you live in, and in those who dream big. Until those dreams become a reality, any bank can give you a loan or open an account. At IMCU, we care about more than just dollars and cents. We care about doing things that make sense. And investing in you makes good sense to us.
Marian University basketball on the ISC Sports Network, presented in part by IMCU. Indiana Members Credit Union is proud to support Marian University and offers a free Marian University Knights debit card. The card is included when you open a free IMCU checking account. Get your Marian University Knights debit card today and show your support. Visit any IMCU branch or sign up online now at imcu.com. Again, tomorrow our cameras will be here. Same cameras, same building, completely different sport. It is the Wolverine Hoosier Athletic Conference Wrestling Championships. We'll have the championship bout starting at weight class 125, all up to the heavyweights at 285. Kurt Darling and Joe Hansen have all the action tomorrow beginning at approximately 3 o'clock on ISCSportsNetwork.com and free on ISC social media channels. What do you expect from Huntington here to start half number 2 to get back into this game?
I expect them to come out and play hard as they did in the first half. I think you can see them maybe trying to make an extra pass or two. Try not to take the first opportunity, kind of settle in if you can. I expect really to ramp up what they're doing defensively. And Marian, I think, the big thing for them, continue to play at the pace you're playing, at the level you're playing, and just keep pushing the ball when you can. Keep spreading them out and putting it on the deck and try and get to the rim.
Marian's got 2 more home games remaining. They're each of the next 2 Saturdays. They take on St. Francis next week. And then the always challenging game against Indiana Wesleyan. And we will have that one for you on ISC. That's our final regular season doubleheader. Rob Brown will have the action. here from the PE Center. 2 weeks tomorrow on February the 24th. For Huntington, their starting five of Paul, Jordan, the good lines, and Sparks, the five on the floor for the Foresters. For Marian, Jackson Ames, Max Gizzi, Brody Whitaker, Gus Etchison, and Ben Henderson today's starting five back on the floor as well. Marian trying to sweep their third doubleheader in the last 7 days. Whitaker. Gizzi, and a foul called on good line.
Again, space the court, Greg. Put it on the deck and make somebody stop you, and then kick it to the next guy. Draw a foul. That helps you.
Third foul on Drew Goodline. Ames couldn't hang on to it, but ball bounces the Knights' way. And Sparks guarding Ames, Marian trying to get it to him. And eventually they do, but Paul had helped by that point in time. And
a little bit late, just didn't get it. You like the fact they're trying to feed Ames and get him going in the second half. Take a little bit of the pressure off the perimeter guys.
9th Marian turnover. Just one for the Foresters.
Foresters, it's amazing. They've only turned it over once with the pressure they're getting at the half court.
Speaks to how good the guard play is for Huntington. Jordan got fouled. Henderson bumped him on the cut. That's quickly 3 on Henderson.
See, now fouls become a real issue. It's starting to become an issue. We talked about it earlier. It's starting to find its way into the flow of the game, so to speak.
So Landon Jordan, 13 points a contest, 51% from the line, does not get that to roll in. Huntington as a team, 76% from the stripe. Jordan 7 rebounds a game, 65% field goal shooter is the young man from Churubusco. Landon may have been one of the taller buildings in Churubusco when he played his high school ball there.
He may have been.
Uncommon size for a small school outside of Fort Wayne. Henderson had it poked away, and then Gizzi lost it.
See, right now it's a Marian offense that's stagnant. They have not come out of the locker room. These early possessions have not been very efficient, so to speak. And credit in large part with Huntington's defensive pressure.
Josh Bryan will check in, next stoppage in play. Throw it up top for Jordan, and just couldn't hang on to it.
Right idea, right idea.
Etchison down the lane, lets Goodline fly by, no. Whitaker had it, and then he is fouled by Zach Goodline. So Marian will maintain possession. Henderson will check out with those 3 fouls as Bryan replaces him. Bryan averages less than 20 minutes a game. They kind of do that for injury management for him, but they do not have that luxury today. Whitaker on the drive by Sparks and lays it up and in.
Great move offensively, really a good move. A much needed move for this Marian offense. It's just a great take to the rim.
And Whitaker, you're literally getting on track in the first half. Did make 1 3. Drew Goodline. Nice lead for Jordan. Pretty.
Nicely done. It's just nicely done. Again, you just see Huntington's MO here. Put it on the deck more. Make an extra pass or two.
I think that's off Etch's hands. Yep.
And ramp up what you're doing defensively. Nice job. Nicely done.
And it looks like Marian's going to ask for a timeout.
I don't blame him. I think his offense has been stagnant. I don't blame him at all. Got to get his guys to focus because, hey, listen, there's a lot of time. Everybody knows.
A 30-second timeout that will translate to a full. Still a 14-point lead, but Scott Heddy sees something he does not like. He'll ask for a time and will step aside as you're watching Marian basketball on ISC.
Today, try great taste with zero sugar. This is the Pepsi with zero compromises. This is Pepsi Zero Sugar.
Thank our ISC Sports Network crew, Rob Lynch, Eric Annette, Aaron Van Wolde. Thanks to Vince Morales and Bailey Chamberlain in the truck today. The Friday afternoon game, the rarity here at the PE Center. Maybe get some of these over the holidays. Not the case just yet. Marian trying to get the doubleheader sweep. Their men lead by 14. It was 15 at halftime. And defense has been the story today for the Knights. It's one of the best offenses in all of NAIA basketball. Marian now with 2 timeouts remaining. That was a change this year that they have adopted, if not the full media timeout rules from Division I, but the standard 4 timeouts to go with those media timeouts. That'll be a foul against Marian as Goodline tripped over Gizzy.
When you think about the media timeouts, Greg, you worry about guys being rested. They come in such an order that you have plenty of time to take timeouts. You use your full complement. You got time. You guys are supposed to be in shape too now. Come on.
I think that's a problem for any of the 10 on the floor as we speak.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Trying to find Jordan and couldn't save it. Good hedge that time by Ames. Gizzy gets downhill. Goodline picks his pocket, but then Goodline was standing on the baseline when he tossed that back towards the top of the key.
It's great hands by Goodline, but you're right. He was under the basket on the end of the floor, but had great hands. Gizzy, is going to the rim.
Etchison, no, but Brian the offensive rebound. Etchison 5 of 11 today from the floor. Has made 2 threes, including 1 right before halftime. Slipped it for Ames. Ames took a hard tumble, and again, given the fact he's your only player above 6'4" available today, everybody's breath caught for a second in the building, but thankfully he popped right back up.
Well, he's, on the shot, gets bumped, and it comes down a little awkwardly. Thank goodness he seems to be okay.
Jordan the foul, his 3rd. And Ames connects from the line. So the lead back to what it was at halftime at 15. Ames cannot hit that one. Ames, a redshirt junior from Batavia, Ohio. Sparks down the lane, and he and Brian collided that time.
Yeah, knew he was going to get bumped, so played to it on the drive.
So Sparks to the free throw line for the first time today. Sparks on the season, 90% at the stripe. He has yet to score since halftime and fixes that statement right there. 21.4 points per game. And makes that one too. Whitaker weaving through traffic. Left it short, but got it back. It's not the second time, though.
A couple good looks, just couldn't go.
Sparks leaks ahead. Great job by Gizzy. Held his ground.
Yeah, that's when you know you're having a tough day. You got that break, and you don't convert on it.
And then on the dribble handoff, Sparks kind of collides with Corey Furman, our referee. Ball out of bounds to Marian. Knights just 3 points here in the first 3.5 minutes since halftime. Huntington just 5.
So, Greg, I think both teams have played well defensively to start this half. I think that's the big key for the diminished scoring. What a great play. Great
Ames
play.
the finish.
Great pass.
The dime by Etchison. Goodline turns down the three. At least the older brother does. The younger one didn't and missed a good look. Drew, by the way, is a 40% three-point shooter as well.
Right.
And that has been the unfortunate story for the Foresters today. Now 0 of 10.
And they've had decent looks, Greg, that just haven't gone just like that one. It's a good look, right place, right time, right player.
Etchison spins.
Somehow,
How
some way.
in the world he got that above the 6'9" Jordan, I have no idea.
Somehow, some way.
And it's a 17-point game. Sparks, floater, yes. Sparks takes a tumble after the play.
Yeah, frustrating day for him, but that's nice looking offensive move.
Sparks with 16 now. Shot clock at 11. Again, Marian doesn't mind letting this get down a little further. Etchison, no. How many miles do you think Etchison puts in a game?
Quite a bit. I mean, he's a tremendous player without the basketball. I mean, he really is.
Paul for three and still on the schneid.
Can't get one to go. Wide open, no hand in his face.
Good line, got one. Finally.
Maybe that's the one that gets you going. They've had opportunities.
The law of averages kicks in at some point in time. And back to a 12-point game. So 1 of 12 now as Huntington from three-point range. Whitaker down the lane, no, there's Ames. And Ames left it short twice.
You can't get any closer.
But then hustles back and tips that away from Jordan.
Sprinted the floor.
Corey Alford thought there was a foul involved in that play.
Sprinted the floor, knocks it away.
Out of bounds to Huntington when we come back from our media timeout. Lead is down to 12 with 14:02 to play. Marian trying to split the regular season series against the Foresters. Back in a moment on ISC.
There's something that may surprise you about Marian University. It's not our Catholic faith or our Franciscan values. It's not our 5,000 students or our diversity. It's not Marian's championship athletics or our Indianapolis location. It's that Marian is home to Indiana's only college of osteopathic medicine. Marian, Indy's Catholic University.
Being as many as 17, it's currently 12 for Marian. Trying to get their 18th win of the season. Trying to push their league mark to 8-6 with 4 games left to play. Greg Rakestraw, Bob Lovell with you on the ISC Sports Network. Marian women won earlier today. And their record to 23-1 on the season. Baseline out of bounds when we come back from our media timeout. 2 timeouts remaining for Marian, 3 in this game for the Foresters.
Both teams ramping up what they're doing defensively, Greg. They really are. Came out of the locker room. I think both teams recognizing that if you're going to win this game, you got to do some things defensively. If you're Huntington, you got to get back in it. And obviously, if you're Marian, you want to continue to play at that pace, play at that intensity.
So good line will inbound the basketball. McGuire is in for Jordan. McGuire 2 points in the first half. Henderson back in for Marian. Ames gets a breather. So Goodline attacks the basket immediately. And a foul going to be called against Gizzy. And 2 free throws coming up. Goodline got that first 3 to go. 87% free throw shooter rattles that one in.
He's a shooter, Greg. You can tell that. He's got that shooter mentality. Got a nice-looking release, nice-looking stroke.
And makes them both. So down to 10, and this is as close as Huntington has been here in the half.
Yeah, you just got to feel it. You just sense things turning around.
Brian back in there for the Knights as well. Whitaker turns the corner, powers his way in and scores.
It's a big basket for Marian, Greg. Slows down the Huntington attack. You'll see it here. It's a great individual move. Gets the bump, step through, off the glass for the finish. Tell you what, you got to be strong. You got to be strong enough to play through contact. It's not all catch and shoot.
Whitaker connects.
That's a big hoop. Big three-point play.
Now let's see if the whistles get a little tighter, because they just were on those last couple of fouls that were called. That contact's been allowed to kind of go in both directions most of the game. And the tight whistle may not necessarily be a good thing for the Knights, given their short rotation today.
Right. Tough pass, but a great catch.
McGuire lost the handle. Henderson takes it away.
Henderson did a great job defensively to force the turnover.
Henderson has an uncommon physicality for a true freshman, even though he's a little undersized at 6'3", 6'4". Ryan has not made a three-point shot today. Here's Moles. And then Moles got hacked by Goodline. That is his third. So that's an important foul.
Yeah, it's also a foul you don't really need to make. Ball handler has his back. He's on the baseline, back to the basket, and you foul it. He's not scoring from there.
15 foul against the Foresters. Renner will check in next stoppage for Huntington. Moles goes right at Goodline, missed it. It'll be out of bounds to Huntington. Heads up play by Moles with Goodline having 3 fouls.
Yeah, went right at him. Just couldn't get it up to the rim. Got bumped, knocked him off the spot.
So Drew Goodline now will have a seat as Brenner returns. Farrell back in for Marian. Getting his most extended minutes of the season. Sparks goes right at him and scores.
It's a great move. I mean, he came off the elbow, determined to get to the rim, was not going to be denied.
Sparks with 18. Marian is trying to keep the Foresters at bay at this point. Etchison wants to clear out. Shot clock at 9. And then, again, just an unnecessary foul to McGuire.
Yeah, now you're at 6. That's your issue. You get that for your 6th foul.
And you do that when Etchison's got the ball with his back to the basket, 30 feet away, with 8 on the shot clock.
Starting to sound like a coach now. You need to be careful.
Spending too much time with you, right?
You might want to be careful. Those are the things that drive you crazy as a coach.
Etchison, the step through, and found somebody to give the ball to before he fell to earth. Henderson for 3.
He's had impressive minutes, Greg. He really has. That's a big shot. Under control, great pass.
37% three-point shooter. This is his 2nd start of the season. Good line, no, and McGuire couldn't control the rebound. Etchison right by Sparks.
And one.
Give it to him.
Yep.
And one opportunity, and this was a 10-point game a moment ago. Bob has a chance of the free throw to get to 17.
Well, this nice little spurt here for Marian, and they've done it by forcing some shots that haven't gone, getting to the rim, doing a great job of penetrating off the dribble and converting.
So Etchison to the line. 1 of 2 in his trips to the line so far. Man, 11 of 14 as a team. Huntington's 7 of 8.
Talk about a tough-minded kid. You're looking at one right here. He is, and has an ability to score anywhere in the building.
He played at Western Michigan before returning back to the Indy area. 9-2 Marian run. Brenner for three, no. Jordan, good job to keep it alive, but there's Whitaker to track it down.
Well, Marian trailed the screen, a little late to get there. Nice look at the rim, but just didn't go.
By the way, Ames back in there with 12 rebounds. Whitaker got bumped. Yeah, Brenner just tripped and kind of careened into Whitaker. And he'll shoot two.
If you're Huntington right now, I mean, Coach Alford has to be concerned. You got 10 minutes, 11 minutes left in the ball game. Your guys have reached a little lull right here in the second half, and it can't continue. If you're going to climb out of this, you got to stop this and start going the other way.
So Whitaker to the line. Young man that is the all-time leading scorer in the history of Greencastle High School. That is a program that has a lot of history, so that statement carries a lot of weight as he knocks down the first free throw. And makes them both. Etchison got his hands on it. I think I say Goodline fouled him before he got rid of the ball. Is that the call? Yep.
That's
okay.
It.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, you have no dribble and you're up against the sideline.
But even though that foul, which is Goodline's fourth, prevents a fast break, it gives Etchison 1 plus the bonus on the ninth team foul. Looking ahead for Huntington. They get to host #1 Grace. And folks that are maybe watching this in and around the Huntington area.
Be a great game to see.
I'm not sure if you can convince the missus that, you know, a romantic getaway for Valentine's nights to go watch Crossroads League basketball. But if you can, Grace and Huntington will be a great game to go see.
Your wife and my wife would go. They're used to it.
Right.
I think they'd be disappointed if they didn't go see a game on Valentine's Day.
Well, that is not the plans in the Rakestraw household, just so you know.
Well, I have to tell
I'll be
you,
checking in on that score, by the way.
The Lovell family, we haven't even talked about it. This is what happens when you're married 50-plus years. We haven't even talked about it.
Good line and one. Gizzy commits the foul.
Nice move. Now, you know, you just wonder if that's the kind of move that can provide a spark and get people going the other way. And it's always, again, off the bump, good-looking hoop.
So for Gizzy, that is his third. We referenced, you know, foul troubles for Marian just because they're short of bodies.
Right.
Huntington's in a similar spot.
Yeah.
They only play 8. But Drew Goodline's got 4.
Yeah.
Jordan and Zach Goodline each have 3 as Goodline gets the and 1.
That's the kind of move, Greg, where you wonder why you work out so much in the weight room. That move right there. Because you're strong enough to play through that contact.
Whitaker, right idea on the spin, but good hands to poke it free. 12th Marian turnover. Jackson Paul in the lane, yes.
Again, that move, you know, Coach Eddie knows it. He feels it. You get back-to-back good plays, back-to-back hoops. Time to take a timeout.
Even though it is a 16-point game, he will take this 30, and that 30 will turn into a full. Let's take it with him. 57-41, Marian leading, but Huntington maybe a little momentum for one of the rare times today. Back after this on ISC.
At Indiana Members Credit Union, we're invested in more than just your finances. We're invested in your future, the future of your family, the well-being of the community you live in, and in those who dream big. Until those dreams become a reality, any bank can give you a loan or open an account. At IMCU, we care about more than just dollars and cents. We care about doing things that make sense. And investing in you makes good sense to us.
There's something that may surprise you about Marian University. It's not our Catholic faith or our Franciscan values. It's not our 5,000 students or our diversity. It's not Marian's championship athletics or our Indianapolis location. It's that Marian is home to Indiana's only college of osteopathic medicine. Marian, Indy's Catholic University.
Down to 2 weeks left to go in the regular season. After the conclusion of this game, games each of the next 2 Wednesdays and Saturdays. Men's League tournament starts Wednesday, February the 28th.
Where did the season go? It's just
We say it every year, don't we?
Unbelievable. You're Marian, you need a good possession here, Greg. You really do. Well, you get the double on the wing.
Good trap.
I like the change. It's a big-time change.
Good line. Got bumped by Whitaker. Yep.
Look what it got you.
2 free throws.
You come out of the timeout. You trap on the wing. Tremendous move. Coach Alford, great job, great call on that. Kids did it perfectly. Wing would have been better if you make the layup, but you got hammered. Not much you could do.
So good line. Will shoot 2. And connects.
So now you wonder, okay, is that just coming out of the timeout, or is Huntington going to stay in that type of approach on made baskets? Clearly, we'll find out.
Good line, an 87% free throw shooter. 6 quick points now for Huntington. And again, they averaged 91 a game. They were due to bust loose at some point in time today. They're showing trap again. Shot clock at 11. Isolation for Etchison. Etchison, no. Tip by Ames, no.
Had a chance on the tip. I thought he had it.
Good line in transition, missed it.
So they trade missed opportunities. But if you're Huntington, you can't trade those.
Dylan Bowles on the drive, but then he traveled. Yep.
It's a good call. No, it's a good call. Marian coaches are saying he was arm barred and knocked off his feet.
But again, that really hasn't been called all day.
Hasn't been called all day. Probably was, but got to play through it.
Good line for 3. Got it.
Nicely designed action. Got what you wanted. You're back in this thing right now.
Lead is down to 11.
You were absolutely in it.
Looking now 10 in a row for Huntington. Whitaker in the lane. Fouled on the floor by Goodline, which is his 4th.
Yeah. Now the fouls get interesting, Greg. They really do.
So
it's a good call.
So 2 shots for Whitaker. But the lead instigator of offense for Huntington, even if he is not their leading scorer today, they play through Goodline. He's not going to play the final 8-14 with 4 fouls.
Probably not. And he's going to try to plead his case, which is probably not going to work.
And Bernard Weatherly is a wonderful man to engage in conversation.
Right, but
he's not going to change the call.
I don't think so. I don't think you see that happen. And I think, his beef is, I'm getting hammered when I go to the rim. Hard to argue, really. If you're Huntington, you're still okay now. You're all right. You need to be efficient as you have been these last few minutes.
Ball poked away. Goodline able to save it. Paul looking for the roll to Jordan. Great play.
That's a tremendous
Those kids
play.
been doing that from high school and before that probably too.
Tremendous play.
The high school teammates connect on that play.
You know what? I mean, the lob is great, but to get it one-handed and put it on the window.
For Jordan, just his 2nd field goal of the game.
All right, you're at 9 now. So things are starting to get interesting.
Gizzy in the lane, stops. Whitaker high arcing jump shot does not go. Chance to get it to single digits. Good line. No. Most games that goes in. Atchison thought he might completely turn to the Jets there. He does on the hesitation. Leaves it for Ames. A no-doubter for Jackson Ames.
That's an impressive play by Gus. He does a great job on the rebound, get out of traffic, and make a great pass.
9 points, 13 boards for Ames. And the lead is 13. Good line, fouled by Ames. Just Ames' second foul. And 2 free throws coming up for Drew Goodline.
Ames is saying I was perfectly vertical. Great pass, easy finish. Tremendous pass by Gus Etchison.
So Goodline just made 2. He'll shoot 2 more here. Jordan will check out. McGuire will get him. Jordan is rather winded in front of the Huntington bench. Drew Goodline misses. Etchison gets a breather. Brian will come in.
He gave him great minutes. I mean, especially that last hoop he had. Big time hoop, which they needed.
Sparks back. He's been sitting for a while. You would think Sparks is now going to get, especially with Goodline having to come out as in Zach. It'll be Sparks' show now for the next few minutes. Brenner draws the defensive assignment on Max Gizzi. Whitaker finds some space. Whitaker, the bump in the bucket.
Impressive hoop. Bumped on the way up, played through it, got a big basket for Marian.
Every time Huntington gets to about 10, Marian has
Right.
a way to stretch it back out. 3 in the corner off the side of the backboard.
Well, you tell kids, answer a score with a score. It's kind of a football analogy, right? Answer a score with a score. Same thing here.
And now if you're Marian, you're going to try to, as much as you can in a 30-second shot clock, drain the sands of the hourglass here. Gizzi, the scoop, and the score.
Well, I think that you do within the framework of what you're doing offensively and the flow you're in. You've got smart kids who know how to do it.
Etchison will check back in next stoppage in play. Zach Goodline does the same. Ball poked away. Brian's got an open path to the basket. Brian will lay it up and in. And it's back to an 18-point game and a timeout taken by the Foresters. Momentum has been wrestled right back by the Knights, and it's an 18-point game with 5:51 left to play. 30-second timeout. We'll keep it right here.
Great steal. You know, defense, Greg, defense travels. Defense wins you basketball games, just like that. Momentum in the favor of Huntington. You see it right here. You get the steal. Great anticipation. It's not a very good pass, to be honest. And then you get an easy 2. Timeout. I understand. So if you're Marian, Greg, keep doing what you're doing. Don't reinvent the wheel here. Just do what we're doing. Play hard. Don't foul. Don't put them at the free throw line. That's the thing. Remember, you got just under 6 minutes. Clock is your friend. Don't make it stop. Keep it going. Don't foul. Don't take rushed or hurried shots. Use as much time as you can without slowing our pace down and our rhythm down. Easier said than done, clearly.
Whitaker and Ames will have a seat for Marian. Farrell and Etchison to return. Farrell has played 10 minutes today. He's played 28 minutes all season coming into today's game. McGuire with the undersized Brian guarding him. Nice move, but missed it. Good look.
It was a great look. Everything but the finish.
With the transfer from Emporia State. Gizzi right by Goodline and got fouled. It wasn't Goodline. It was Sparks, but again, not surprising, the son of 2 coaches goes, oh, the guy with 4 fouls is guarding me? Let me go right at him.
And he did. And the other thing, too, is tough enough to finish. You talk about toughness, that's what toughness is. I got bumped. I finished a very important play.
And Gizzi had 20-plus against Huntington the first time. Not that is required today, but he's now sitting on 14.
It's a big three-point play. I mean, it really, really is. Yeah, I'm not sure Huntington has another run in him, to be honest.
Foul on Gizzi, which will be his 4th.
They may have a run if you foul. And that's, I know Gizzi's trying to defend, but, you reach, you grab, you commit a foul. That's your 4th.
So Goodline will shoot 1 plus the bonus. He's a perfect 5 of 5 from the stripe. Good line connects. Whitaker will check in. Gizzy will sit with 4 fouls. Again, while Gizzy is your point guard, Etchison is such an amazing creator with the ball in his hands. You can sit him for a little
Well,
bit.
you're playing with 2 point guards. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
You know, they're both point guards. Well, you're playing with 2 combo guards. They're point guards who can score in bunches. And so, what are they? Point, off guard? I don't know. They're basketball players.
Ball players.
They're basketball players who can win. That's what they are.
Whitaker.
Whitaker didn't hesitate now. Took it to the rim.
McGuire, the foul.
Didn't hesitate a lick, as they say.
And that will lead us to our final media timeout. Well, this is shaping to be a banner day for the Marian Knights. This is one they felt they had to have. With 4:49 to play, they lead by 20 here on ISC.
This is the Pepsi for America's best barbecue. Worthy of 100-mile detours and 1,000 likes. Looks good. This is the Pepsi for mopping, dipping, and dousing. Whatever you're craving, this is the Pepsi for you. This is the Pepsi for serious fans and serious eats. This is the Pepsi for Sundays at the ballpark and days off at your favorite pizza joint. Right, Aaron?
Best slice in New York.
Whatever you're craving, this is the Pepsi for you.
Today's game presented in part by Tom O'Brien Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram. If you were watching during the women's game, we've already established that saving money is important to Bob Lovell. Whether you're Bob Lovell or not, visit Tom O'Brien Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram, a proud sponsor of Marian University. Tom O'Brien is Indy's preferred Jeep dealer with 2 locations, the biggest Jeep inventory in Indiana. To show our support, Tom O'Brien will donate $200 to Marian for every car any student, parent, employer, friend of Marian buys. And you mentioned this promo. Go Knights and go to Tom O'Brien to see how our family works for you since 1933.
How would I look in a Jeep, you think?
Tremendous. The wind flowing in your hair.
There you go.
You get that pool tan. Have you thought about opening up the pool already since it's been so warm this week?
Actually, I made my appointment. My guy who built it 100 years ago. I told him, Dave, he goes, "You're crazy," and I said, "Just come out here and open it, okay? Please."
Whitaker connects. If you've never seen Bob before, he's a cross between the Dos Equis, world's most interesting man, and Panama Jack when it gets to the summer.
Well, you know what? I take great pride in that tan, and I work at it.
You do.
I work very hard at it.
22-point game.
Yeah, if you're married now, hey, look, clock's your best friend. Don't foul. Don't give up easy ones.
Good line 3 does not go, and again,
space, penetrate, find your buddies. And when you get fouled, be tough enough not to turn it over.
Etchison gets downhill. Dyer couldn't stop him. Will they give him the bucket or not? Let's see. Yep. Yeah. On the floor.
Good call.
2 free throws for Etchison.
That's a tough matchup for anybody right there in Gus Etchison.
And Dyer had just checked back into the game for the first time this half.
It's especially difficult when you come back off the bench because they open some things up. There's no post. They've emptied out the post. And so now, your weak side help can't get there. Your ball side help, not fast enough.
Lead expands to its largest at 24.
Small ball, no post, Greg. You can win games. Spread people out.
Whitaker got a hand in the passing lanes, and then Brian
turned it right back around.
Yeah, tried to do a little too much with that. Sparks, shot blocked. And off of Sparks.
Great block inside. Was that Ames?
Was.
I think it was, yeah. The big guy telling you why he's out there.
And I think Huntington has kind of said enough with 4:05 to go. They will expend their bench a little bit. Landon Beagle, the freshman from Oak Hill, will check in. And Roman Bruvier will check in.
Greg, some days it's not your day. There's
right.
Nothing wrong in admitting it. It's just today's not our day. We played hard. We could play better, but today's not our day.
Etchison left it short, but got his own rebound.
Padded his rebound stats. That's what his teammates will be all over him for.
Finds Ames, shot blocked.
Great play, great defensive play by the Foresters, yes.
Good line. fouled on the way up by Whitaker. And Goodline will shoot 2.
Good call.
Again, it is certainly possible these two teams would square off against each other in the opening round of the Crossroads League tournament. And really, it's between these two and Bethel to determine who's going to be seeds 3, 4, and 5.
I think, third time would be a heck of a matchup. I mean, tremendous matchup.
If the game is here, we would have it on ISC. Gizzy back in, Brenner in for Drew Goodline. Etchison will have a seat, as will Whitaker. Goodline connects. Good to see Farrell get the minutes he's gotten today and got the bucket to go.
An impressive individual move. Determined from the time he touched it, turned the corner, and a great finish.
The opportunities have been, so rare for him because of those injuries. Happy for him he's getting this today. Bucket by Dyer. Dyer averages 3.5 points a game. Playing in every game this year for the Foresters, averages about 12 minutes of contest. Marian's main goal, take 30 seconds off the shot clock every time.
Yeah, get as deep into it as you can, and then don't take a forced shot, take a good shot, but get down as far as you can.
Shot clock at 4. Gizzy just puts his head down and rewarded for the effort.
There it is. Tough kid, tough play. Contact all the way, count it.
Brian will have a seat. Henderson will come back in. Etchison 22, Whitaker 18. Gizzy now adds to that. He's got 18 as well. Make it 19 with the free throw. Well, there was never that run for Huntington. Got it back to 10. As close as they would get it. After it was 15 at halftime. Good line, the step back 3, no. Huntington 2 of 17 from 3-point range today.
You know what, Greg, when you get back to 10, you've expended so much energy to get there that it's hard to find that same kind of energy and continue to try to cut into the lead. It's hard to do. Ames gets caught midair, gets bumped.
Foul against Beagle, and Ames will shoot 2. We said Ames would likely asked to play about 32 minutes today.
Yeah.
Sitting on 29.
29.
The average is about 19 a game.
Well, he responded.
Yep. And the hope is that we'll see Foster again at some point this year for Marian.
I think you knew he would respond, quite frankly. He's a gamer.
Luke LaGrange will check in. Sophomore from Leo High School. And Ames connects again. Now he will check out. We've probably done seeing Jackson for the day at this point. Tremendous effort by Ames. He'll finish with 11 points and 13 rebounds. So a double-double.
That's a day's work now.
Deep 3 for Dyer, no.
Yeah, you would think that both teams will try to play this out and not foul. Hard to tell people to not play hard.
Farrell takes a tumble.
Right
LaGrange
there.
commits the foul.
It's an impressive win for Marian, Greg. Really is. You're depleted numbers-wise. You play in a team that's similar to you in many respects. And listen, you came out and you performed. You played well.
So the two teams will split the regular season series as Farrell misses from the line. There's a look at the way things shape up right now. Again, that's not updated. Huntington, because of everybody else playing tomorrow, will stay in third, but Bethel will now reach them in the win-loss column. Marian run their home record to 11-2 on the season.
If you're Coach Alford, you got to go to your guys and say, look, what do we do when we don't shoot the ball well?
Three by Beagle does not go.
You know what I mean? If we don't shoot it, what do we do? We can't just give up. What do? We got to find ways to play through that. Because you might not shoot it well at the wrong time. You may be in tournament play, and you can't just say, well, we didn't shoot it well. You got to find other ways.
What a week for Marian. Doubleheader sweeps against Taylor, Goshen, and Huntington. Three in the corner by Farrell does not go.
That's tremendous.
Molesby called for a foul.
That's great work.
Here's what's left for Marian. At Bethel, which will not be easy. Marian beat Bethel here back on January the 10th. They will host St. Francis then on Saturday. Then it is at Mount Vernon Nazarene, who won here by 3. They're the only team other than Grace to win at Marian this year. And then it's here for Indiana Wesleyan. So it is not an easy finishing stretch by a long shot for Marian.
No, not at all.
Spiegel connects. Misses that one, does Beagle. Brian eventually wrestles it away. 12-second difference, shot clock and game clock. Both these teams now get kind of a bonus day off because of playing a day early. Gizzy will pull from the elbow. Missed that one.
You won't know what to do with a Friday night off.
Oh, I don't have one. I'm working.
Well, but I'm just saying, if you're Marian or Huntington, you won't know what to do with a Friday night. You don't get Friday nights off.
You'll figure it out. Marian figured it out today. They win going away, 82-55. Marian now gets to 18-6 in the season. Huntington falls to 16-8. The Foresters 9-5 in league play. Marian 8-6 in league action. That'll do it for our doubleheader day here at Marian University. For Bob Lovell and our entire ISC Sports Network crew, this is Greg Rakestraw. Thanks for joining us today and all season long. Tomorrow it's Marian Wrestling. We're back for Marian basketball in 2 weeks in the season finale against Indiana Wesleyan. Hope you join us then. Thanks for watching Marian basketball on the ISC Sports Network.
Marian University is like a home to me.
Campus is where I made friends that I know will last a lifetime.
Academics, sports, or arts, Marian's got something for you.
Plus, downtown Indy is just 10 minutes away from campus.
I'm a huge sports fan. Living in Indy, I've got the Knights, the Colts, and the Pacers.
Applying was so fast and easy.
I went to Marian for the education, but what I took away was the experience.
Marian University offers an exceptional education and an unforgettable experience. Apply today for full scholarship consideration